like thinking, does he already have someone else? But I'm not gonna lie, it makes me feel like shit. It really does. It makes me feel horrible about myself. And I wish it didn't. I wish it didn't, but it does.
Welcome back, family.
Another one, fellas. Another modern woman who destroyed her own family so that she can come to the internet looking for sympathy. That's what they do, guys. That's what they do. First of all, I just want to know the reason why she divorced her husband. Because I can tell you right now, before I even watch this video, before we even like play this video, guys, and watch this video together, because I've never watched it before, right? I can tell you right now that it's not about cheating. It's not about abuse. Let's bet. Let's bet. We can place a bet right now. It's not about cheating, and it's not even about domestic violence. It's about some petty shit. But let's check it out, guys.
The modern woman just cannot cease to amaze me, and today we are reviewing this woman who willingly divorces her husband but do not want him to move on with his life. Now, I want you to pay attention on how she will paint herself as the victim in this next clip, which I will completely debunk later on by showing who she really is in other clips. Let's jump in.
I felt compelled to respond, to make a video in response to what someone commented on another video about my children's father, H, wanting, like, pressuring to file for divorce because he possibly has someone else. And it's something that I wish this person hadn't commented, because I have been thinking about that, and it makes me feel even worse than what I already do, because it's something that I've definitely also thought about, and his actions have made me think that this is a possibility, and it's just not good for my self-esteem. When I knew he was coming after 3 months of not seeing him, and him not seeing his kids, I even offered for him to stay here. I thought it would be a better transition for the kids to see him, and then we would talk to our daughter, our oldest daughter, 7 months, 7 years. Oh, 7 years old, almost 7 years old. And he didn't want that. He said he wanted his space, and he is a person that wants his space. When he's next to me and he's on his phone, he kind of goes like this, the pressuring, and then he already talked about, when we were talking about how we were going to be before we talked to our daughter, and how we wanted, I said, I want this to be okay. We weren't meant for each other, but that doesn't mean we have to be enemies, and it's good for them to see that we can even be friends, right? And have like moments that it's the four of us. So yeah, the different behaviors have gotten me like thinking, does he already have someone else? And it does make me feel like shit even more. It really does, because I feel like I'm that easily replaceable. For 12 years that I've been with him, I feel like I've begged for his love, and it's like, the harder, the more the people play hard to get, the more you want that person. I feel like that's what's happening, even though I know that he is not the person for me. It's an ego thing. I know that. I know it's an ego thing. But I'm not gonna lie, it makes me feel like shit. It really does. It makes me feel horrible about myself. And I wish it didn't. I wish it didn't, but it does. And so then I feel like maybe it's time to just like rip the Band-Aid off and like start dating myself, or, seeing what's out there. And I know a lot of people say, no, you're not ready, and you got to learn to love yourself before you can love someone else, and you got to be by yourself. But I feel like I have been for the last 12 years, actually. I feel like I have been by myself in a certain way. I've been with someone, but he's been doing his own thing this whole time, and I'll get into that in another post. But yeah, part of me just wants to just like, let's go, let's move on, let's do this, because I do not like feeling like shit and like I'm not worthy of people's love.
Still feeling lost after a breakup or divorce? You're not alone. At RJ Godfellas Matrimony and Move On Crew, we don't just talk about heartbreak, we heal through it. Every week we share mindful rituals, self-care tools, and real talk from real people who get it. This isn't just another support group. It's a safe space to grow, laugh, cry, and come back stronger. Healing starts with one step. Take yours today. Join the crew on Patreon. Your next chapter is waiting. The link is in the description.
Yeah.
This is how women destroy their own life with unnecessary baggage just to satisfy their ego. She want to start dating just because her soon-to-be ex-husband has moved on. Now, do not fall for all these fake crocodile tears because she is the one that is filing for divorce. She is actually the one that is destroying her own family because of her jealousy and envy toward her husband's success. Let me show you what I mean by that in this next clip.
Resentment. It's something that I definitely felt towards H, that I feel towards H sometimes, because it's just different for men and women. I mean, and that's just the way it is. Like, anyone can argue that, oh, no, it's not. Like, women have it 10 times harder. We are the caretakers. We have the invisible load. We take care of the kids and work, or some people just take care of the kids. But like, we have an amount of work and responsibility and mental like load. Yeah, when it comes to the kids, that's just not, it's not the same. I mean, biologically, you know, we nurse or some, not all. So while H was able to really dedicate himself more to his career, I've had to split myself, and it has been extremely difficult. We both work in video production, and since I've known him, H has always traveled for work, and I completely get that and whatnot. But once we had, you know, our daughter, it continued, which is fine. It was just more of a feeling like it's not the same for me. Like, I can't just up and leave, you know, for weeks at a time, sometimes almost a month. And like, I couldn't do that, you know. I would, or I could, I know I could if I wanted to, but I didn't want to. And so, of course, it was like, he is, you know, moving up in his career and I am staying stagnant, and that is frustrating. And then finally, when my daughter turned 2 and I came back to the United States after, you know, living in Mexico for such a long time, and offered a bigger position in a production company, and I took it. It was the first time that I was away from her, and working a full-time job, and I loved it. I really enjoyed that, and I realized that I can't be just a stay-at-home mom, and it's important for me to work, and that gives me joy as well. But when it came to like being able to travel for work, I was never available for that. Like, because I didn't want to leave my daughter. My daughter's also autistic, so I try to limit these drastic changes in her life as much as possible, and I've been the one constant factor, so I can't just like up and go for a couple weeks or a couple of days even. And I know that's been my choice and whatnot, but yeah, there is resentment there when he can and he does and I don't. And again, I know that that's my choice. Now, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to be able to work. Even now, I have my own company, and I've decided to have my own company to give me the flexibility of being the mother that I want to be, but also having the career that I want to have. And it's not like, I don't, you know. I don't. H right now is in Miami, then he's going to go to Mexico, and then, you know, he goes to Jamaica, and he goes all over the place. And I don't because I don't want to disrupt my kid's life. I'm still nursing my son. So yeah, there's resentment.
This is what feminism.
Okay. Guys, let's talk about this female, guys. In the first clip, she said, this guy is just not for him. And then in the second clip, she said, you know, being a woman is hard in a marriage. Now she's complaining about, in this clip, she's complaining about how hard it is to be a woman in a marriage, right? To be a mother, to be a wife. That's what she's complaining about. But in the first clip, she said, this man was not for her. That's what she said, right? And I want to break that down, guys. You see, this is what happens when women go outside and take everything serious. She found a job, and then she saw the attention that she was getting. I'm sure she works with guys, right? There's men where she works. Even if we're talking about the production industry, like it has a lot of guys. Let's be honest. Like it's dominated by males. The production company, like if it's like videography, photography, it's dominated by men, right? Um, I can tell you that she met a lot of men out there, and they gave her attention, and she thought, I can do better, right? And this is something that happens to women subconsciously because they don't think about it like that. They don't look at it like, yeah, like I'm gonna divorce my husband and I'm gonna have fun. They don't look at it like that. They're just gonna look at it like, I'm not happy at home. I'm happy here. I'm happy at work because I meet guys who are making me feel, wanted or some type of way, right? And now that her husband has moved on with somebody, which is like, I'm not sure if that's what she said in the first clip, but it seems like her husband has moved on. She found like another person and like she's with another woman, right? And she's jealous because now she knows that, that man is desirable. You understand? Other women want that man. You understand? Because that's what makes a man desirable, right? A lot of women might not agree with me on this, but women like a man that is wanted by other women, right? Like that's what makes a man desirable. That's what makes a man, more sexy. you know, yeah. But anyway, she left her husband because she thought she could do better. It has nothing to do with her, being a mother and being a wife and going through this, what do you call, like they call it a mental load, right? They call it a mental load where like women, they feel like they're doing everything in a marriage. You understand? But I think that's just an excuse. For me, it's an excuse. Like it's more like, I have to find something to leave my husband. But that's not the reason why. You understand? Because if she loves, and I'm sure she does. She does love her kids or her daughter or her kid, because I don't know how many kids she has, right? Because in the first clip she said children, and then now she's talking about one person, one child, right? So if she loves her kids or her kid, I can tell you right now, she loves being with a kid. The only reason why she wants to get out the house and go chase a career is because she wants more, right? She wants more. And once she goes outside looking for more excitement, she finds it. She finds that, there's other men out there who, who are complimenting her. Maybe the man that works with her, they compliment her. They tell her like, oh, you look nice today. You look nice in that dress. And she doesn't get that at home. Right? And then she thinks, at home sucks and at works is the best place to be. And that's why she's divorcing her husband. Let's keep it pushing though.
Has done to modern women. Her all body and soul is literally letting her know what she should do because it's what she really wants. But her indoctrination of pursuing her career is always interfering and pushing her to completely destroying her family. As a stay-at-home mom, she is the primary beneficiary of all the hard work her husband is putting in. But she can't...
Facts, guys. That's true. That's true. Understand? It's feminism. It's feminism. He's right. HL is right. It's feminism. She wanted to go out there and, chase a career because that's what society tell women. Like, they should be strong and independent. So she went out there and not only... she found out that, she can chase a career. She found out that men can compliment you and men can like you even though you have kids and you're married. And women don't take those things lightly, guys. They don't take them lightly. Like they don't take attention lightly like that. They take it serious. Let's keep it pushing.
Can't even see it because of all the indoctrination about pursuing her career to compete with her own husband. And she even admitted that her husband didn't do anything wrong and that he is a good man. Check it out.
I want to clarify something because I think that I might be coming off as a victim here, and I'm not. I'm not. I'm a victim of myself. I'm not a victim of H. I'm a victim of myself. He is not a bad person. He's not the right person for me. I'm not the right person for him, unfortunately. That hurts. But he's not a bad person. And this divorce is amicable. At least up until this point, you know, we're on the same page about doing things this way for our kids, for ourselves. I'm not on a place like I can't see him. I can't see him with another person right now, but I can see him.
This woman is so narcissist to the point that she cannot stop saying in all her posts that she doesn't want to see her husband with another person, even though she doesn't want to be with him anymore. Let me just show you how narcissist she really is in this final clip.
What I'm going to do with you, Mabel, if it's okay, is I'm going to do a process which is called a psychosensory therapy. Now,
My mind is my worst enemy. Sometimes I am my own worst enemy. For instance, like, this is going to be difficult to say because makes me sound like a crazy person, and I realize that, but it's the truth. And I said that I would be raw and unfiltered, right? Even though I don't want to be with him anymore, there is a part of me that wants him to still want to be with me. And when I kind of think about like what gets me upset, or why am I so sad about certain things, you know, of him wanting to also go through with the divorce, you know, if I don't want to be with him, and it's this craziness, or I don't know, maybe it's like just human. Here it is. My problem is not that I don't value myself, or I don't have self-love. I think if I didn't, I would continue to be in this relationship. And I feel like this found awareness of myself and the self-love has brought me to this point of wanting to get the divorce and move on and find someone, or many someones, that fulfill me, more. But what hurts me is that I feel he doesn't value me the way I value me. And that's what like really hurts.
I'm just glad that this good man will be finally free and leave this unstable woman.
Okay, I wish guys I could explain it to you in a way that you guys can understand, right? Like it's another thing. It's one thing for a woman to walk out the house and say, you know, I love my husband and, you know, I want to be with my husband forever, right? And goes to work and not care about any other attention that she's getting from men. And it's another thing for a woman to walk out the house, guys, and go out there, maybe go to work, and other guys tell her, like, you know, you're beautiful. And she's like, yeah, maybe I am beautiful. Maybe I can get their guy who's better than my husband. Because a lot of women are like this, especially modern women. When they get into relationships, they're just looking at you like, okay, I can do better than this guy. Let me try this guy out. Let's see. In the meantime, I'll still be looking, you know, for the guy who's better than this guy. That's how modern women look at things, right? So as soon as they leave the house, they go to work, you know, they chase their career. They meet men who are better than their husbands, you know, because there's always somebody who's better than you. Because, like, I mean, we're men, guys. There's always somebody who makes more money than you, who's taller than you, who's more in shape than you, who is more charismatic than you, who's more funnier than you. Like, and women, when they meet those type of guys, they believe that, you know, I can get a guy like that, especially modern women. And they forget about their husbands. They forget that they're already married. And, you know, they have husbands, they have families. Because of that guy, how that guy makes them feel, or how those men around them makes them feel, right? They're just gonna you know, follow their how they feel, their emotions, how they feel about what other men say about, or how other men make them feel. I hope I'm making sense, guys. Right? And this is what happens to modern women, guys. You can tell this woman, she thought that she could do better than her husband. Just like any other woman who comes to TikTok and say, my husband, I divorced my husband. He was a good man. He didn't do anything. And just like I said in the beginning of the video, man, this has nothing to do with cheating and abuse. But if you have a conversation with a woman about why women are divorcing men at a higher rate, they will tell you like, oh, it's because men are cheating and men are abusing. But I've done so many videos, bruh. I've done so many videos, and I've never came across a video where a woman say, my husband was cheating.